guys, welcome back to Food Prep Guide. We're back today with another update from the National Center for Food Home Preservation. They have a new canning guideline related to pH. So I wanted to bring you that because that's pretty important. Please forgive me for my voice. I'm a little bit under the weather today. So I do have the bulletin announcement printed out for you, and I will read it word for word in just a minute, at least the important parts. I won't bore you with the non-important parts. But basically what they're saying is don't use pH meters. So when we are talking about testing the pH of canning recipes, we have pH meters and pH strips. pH meters in the past have been something that was mostly used in the scientific community, like very professional commercial grade pH meters that have to be calibrated daily, yes, daily in the lab. But with the rise of online stores like Amazon, those products can be made for really cheap and pushed out on the platform. And I feel like what happens, especially with Amazon, is someone will put out a product like a pH meter for this example, and then 20 or 30 other companies will see that as an opportunity. They'll source it from, China pretty much, and flood the platform with all different kinds of brands of pH meters, when really it's not a good tool for home canning. Like I said, pH meters are useful in the lab from what I understand, but they do have to be calibrated daily. It's like a really nuanced thing, not something that we can really use with confidence in our homes. What's best is pH strips, and they are not saying don't use pH strips at all, or don't worry about pH or whatever. They're just saying don't use pH meters. But one note that I will say about pH strips is when I first started canning, I was using fish tank strips, pH strips, and I realized that that really wasn't the best option. I really needed something more nuanced that would go in between, like instead of just doing a pH of 4 or 5, you could go to 4.5 or 3.5. The kombucha strips they give you half point increments, so I highly recommend them. It comes in a roll like this, and you just tear it off. And that's how you kind of test your strip. I'll have these linked in the description box. But I wanted to talk about one thing that has come up a few times about pH. Actually, I have 2 points. One point is people will ask about using pH strips to test pressure canning recipes, and that's not how that works. This is only appropriate and only useful for water bath canning recipes, because pressure canning recipes, we know for a fact, are low acid and cannot be water bath canned. So it doesn't matter that we don't need to test the pH, because we are already having to pressure can them because they are already, we know for sure, low acid, which is why it's not safe to water bath can them. They must be pressure canned to reach the internal temperature and maintain that internal temperature for long enough to kill off the botulism spores and anything else that could be lurking inside that jar. So pH strips are a non-topic with pressure canning recipes. They are only for water bath canning recipes. So that brings me to my second point, which is if you are a brand new canner, I highly recommend that you only stick to proven, tested, safe recipes as published by the National Center for Food Home Preservation. Why? Because they have tested and tested and tested with professional level equipment many times to streamline that recipe and make it safe for someone canning in Florida and someone canning all the way in California. Because, there's elevation changes, there's different soil. The soil affects the acidity of tomatoes, for instance. So tomatoes in Florida are not going to have the same acidity as tomatoes in California. But they have done that testing to make sure that the ingredients that are added, like lemon juice or citric acid or vinegar or lime juice, are added at such quantities to take care of the safety for people all across the country. So if you're new to canning, I highly recommend sticking to that. And if you do stick to a tested, proven, safe recipe, you don't have to worry about pH. That's the beauty of that. It gives you a safety net. That's what tested, proven, safe recipes do. They give you a safety net as a new canner so that you can take that worry out of your mind. You don't have to be concerned about it. As long as you follow that recipe, you know it's going to be a safe pH. You know that the processing time is going to be long enough according to what they have stated. And you can just take that questionable factor out of the equation and not even have to worry about it. Really, that's a blessing to people who are new to canning. Now, once you have experience and you understand that canning is a science and not just a fun hobby that you throw things in a jar and everything goes willy-nilly, canning is a science. And once you understand that and you study that and you understand all the different factors that go into canning safety, then I personally believe that it's okay to branch out and make your own recipes. I have been doing that for years, only because I have taken that time to understand the science behind canning. When we do branch out and tweak recipes or make our own recipes, that's really when pH strips come in super duper handy. Because if you even change one thing about a tested, proven safe recipe, let's say you swap out lime juice for lemon juice, it's no longer the exact tested recipe that they did. And that's when you really want to see the pH, and because we can't see that, we can't taste that, we can't tell exactly what it is. That's when pH strips come in handy, because it lets us see the pH that our tweaks have resulted in, if that makes sense. So that's why I keep these on hand, because I do make tweaks all the time. I have made completely my own canning recipes for water bath canning, and I will always test test and make sure the pH is safe before moving forward with it. So those are my two big topics on pH canning strips. Let me just read you the reasons why they say not to use it. And I already mentioned about the professional grade versus home grade. Let me just read for word about pH meters aren't reliable for home use, and here's why. Consumer grade pH meters can give readings that are off by a very large margin. Even a small error can make the difference between a safe and an unsafe product. This is especially risky for acidified foods like salsa or pickled vegetables, where the pH must be precisely below 4.6 to prevent botulism. It is not just the liquid portion of the product that must be measured. Measuring a pH of solids and liquids must be completed with the correct procedure, and then they put the correct procedure in parentheses, and it's like 5 or 6 different steps. They also note that home pH meters may cost anywhere as cheap as $10, but the professional grade ones are $1,000 to over $5,000. Here's what I found interesting. True food testing pH meters have to be calibrated daily with a fresh lab grade buffer solution. Most home users don't have this for correct calibration, so it's not going to be reliable. So, and then they also mention that pH readings are affected with temperature. And when you have a pH meter, it has a little probing rod type thing that is going to be very sensitive to temperature, which can then affect the reading on that meter. Temperature isn't going to affect pH, but it can affect the reading on that device. So those are the reasons that they gave for not using pH meters, but pH strips are totally fine. One quick thing that I want to mention before we hop off this video, it's not related to pH, but it is related to popular products on Amazon or that you see ads on social media that are not safe for canning. The number one thing that I have seen is social media ads for a certain model of vacuum sealer for mason jars, which I use, I love, but it's for dried goods only. And they are running ads, these companies are running ads showing them vacuum sealing a can of green beans and then putting that mason jar of green beans onto their shelf, giving you the idea that, hey, if you vacuum seal this jar of fresh liquid green beans, it'll be shelf stable. I cannot, those companies are going to get sued, okay? And I hope that they do, because then they'll go out of business and they won't risk hurting people. Sorry to say, but it sounds kind of mean, but seriously, that is... Someone even commented on one of our videos saying that ad showed in the middle of our videos, which, I can't stand that. I wish we had better control over that, but we don't. But anyway, so do your homework. Make sure that you understand safe canning practices. We do have a canning safety course available in our shop. It's called the Canning 101 Masterclass. If you are interested in it, I'll pop it up on screen and also down in the link below. I hope that was helpful to y'all, and we will see you next time. Bye.